minute. I'm gonna get rid of my office and put myself in Wayne County Circuit Court backdrop. That's the one I like to use. And let's see. All right, I'm going to bring Mr. Oh. Sue, you back? You're muted. Hold on. Sue was there and she dropped out. I just let her back in.
Okay. I had a message saying to agree to something on Zoom, so I clicked on it and then it booted me off.
Okay. All right. So let me bring Mr. Mota in. All right, Mr. Mota, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Louis Martin Mota, file number 20-19945FH. I have attorney William Amadeo appearing on behalf of Mr. Mota, and your P number, Mr. Amadeo?
Good morning, Your Honor. P76194, and Mr. Mota and I waive our right to be present in person.
All right. Is that correct, Mr. Mota? The last time we were here, I asked you if you'd be willing to be sentenced via Zoom, and you said yes, and you waived your right to be present. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. So, Mr. Mota, have you had an opportunity to read and review the pre-sentence report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had an opportunity to discuss the pre-sentence report and with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Amadeo, do you wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or relevancy of any information in the pre-sentence report?
The only correction I would make, Your Honor, and it's actually a correction that doesn't help my client, but I want to be clear. I don't want to misrepresent anything. Officer Jones says there was 78 days credit for time served on page 1, I believe.
Okay.
He actually only had 1 day, Your Honor. I got him bonded out the same day. So I imagine there was a mix up, but it wasn't 78 days in all, just to be candid with the court.
All right, Mr. Jones.
I have no problems with that change.
All right.
Officer Jones.
All right, so Mr. Jones will make that change. Other than that, Mr. Amadeo?
Scoring's correct. No other additions, deletions, or corrections, Your Honor.
All right. Does the pre-sentence report disclose any prior convictions in which there exists any known constitutional defect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and as we said, or as you referred to, the probation department has computed the minimum sentencing guidelines to be 19 to 38 months. Do you agree with that computation of guidelines?
I do agree with that computation, Your Honor.
All right, there was a killer group plea struck between the prosecutor's office and yourself, Mr. Amadeo, that Mr. Mota would not be sentenced to any upfront jail. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Mota, do you understand if you violate probation, you will be going to prison?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Before the court passes sentence, let me see here. There's somebody in my waiting room, so hold on. I don't know who this person is. Let me find out who this person. Oh, no, it's Miss. Okay, it's another sentencing. All right. Before the court passes sentence, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of Mr. Mota?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll be brief. I did hand in a sentencing memo. Mr. Mota is going to work on his GED. That was one thing Agent Jones mentioned during the PSI, which I was present for. I was impressed that Agent Jones took an interest in my client's education even before he was sentenced, so I'm thankful for that. He also did get his driver's license restored. There's a lot of things about this case. I'm not going to litigate it today, but there's a reason we came to this resolution, Prosecutor Borders and I. It certainly was a triable case, but I do think this is an appropriate remedy. My client will have to be on SORA, and if he violates probation, we know what the outcome of that will be. So I do ask that you give him this opportunity, as the people and I agreed. Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Mota, is there anything you'd like to say on your own behalf?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Very good. In determining the appropriate sentence in this case, the court has considered the seriousness of the offense, your history, the principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, the sentencing guidelines, the report and recommendation of the probation department, as well as what has been said upon the record at this hearing. The criteria and reasons for the sentence are the nature and gravity of the offense, the discipline appropriate to its commission, deterrence against repetition by you and by others, the potential for reformation, vindication for the law, and the protection of society. It's a sentence of the court that you will be placed on probation. Mr. Jones, as the court is going to honor the Killebrew plea that was struck between the prosecutor's office and Mr. Amadeo, what would be your recommendation for probation? How many years?
Judge, I know they made an agreement for 5 years, but I know that law changed to 3 years, but that's going to be up to the court to decide what you want him on probation for.
And
So
let me just add, Your Honor, at the time Prosecutor Bors and I made the agreement, I believe the law was 5. I think 3 is now, but whatever the court finds fair, we'll certainly follow.
So I can do 3, and then I'm allowed to extend it up to 2 more times, no longer than 5 years. I mean, if we want to make sure that we don't have it come back, we can start at 3. And if it doesn't work, I'll keep extending it.
all right, so it's a sentence of the court that we placed on probation for a period of 36 months. You will pay $750 in court costs, $130 crime victim rights fee, $68 in state costs, $60 DNA fee. You will pay $30 per month supervision fees, but it will be $60 if you're required to wear an electronic monitoring device. You are to have no contact with the victim in this matter, directly or indirectly. You're to have no contact with minors age 16 or younger. You are to remain active on the sex offender registry for life, and we will give you credit for the 1 day that you have already served. Now, Mr. Mota, I am going to mail to you at the address that we have for you. Are you still on Main Street?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're going to receive an envelope from my office. Inside that envelope are going to be 3 copies of your notice of right to appellate review and a self-addressed stamped envelope to me. You're going to sign the 1 copy that has a little flag on it for you to sign, and you're just signing to acknowledge that you received the paperwork. You're going to put that copy back in the envelope that I've already provided and send it back to me immediately. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
The other 2 copies are your notice of right to appellate review form. If you wish to appeal your sentence, you would fill out the forms and mail them back to the address listed on the form within 42 days. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Amadeo, is there anything further?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Jones, Mr. Amadeo, thank you. Any direction for Mr. Mota from you, Mr. Jones?
I'll be in contact with him. I have his phone number. Your phone number has not changed, correct?
Yeah, that's correct, Mr. Jones.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be in contact with you via phone.
All right, very
Okay,
good.
thank you.
Mr.
Thank you.
Amadeo, thank you. Mr. Mota, thank you.
Have a good day, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Underwood, I do have Caitlin Damon in my waiting room.
Judge, I'm sitting on for Miss Walsh as well today for sentencing. So.
All right, Ms. Underwood. Do you access JIS, Ms. Underwood?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Do you, through your office, have access to JIS by any chance?
What's JS?
That answers my question. You don't then. Okay. Kate Lynn seems to be connecting to audio.
Do we have Mr. Durrell?
We did for a hot minute and then he popped back out. So I'm sure he will be connecting. We're going back to masking again by Monday, I think. Just to give you a heads up, Ms. Underwood and Mr. Jones.
I'm not surprised.
No. All right. Ms. Damon, I am going to send to her, Ms. Underwood, a chat message to connect to audio. I don't know if she'll get it, but we shall try.
Who is this coming in, Your Honor?
Caitlin Damon, is she yours?
I don't think so.
Well, you're my PD. All right, I'm gonna check on something while we're waiting to see if she's able to.
Me also, Your Honor. Your Honor, that is Mr. Malero.
Good morning, Caitlin. You are Caitlin Damon, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Good
Okay,
morning.
and Mr. Malaro is your attorney, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, so we are waiting for Mr. Malaro. He's probably next door doing, oh, there you are. He's probably next door doing another sentencing. So I'm gonna pop in the waiting room, and as soon as he gets back, we'll bring him back in, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see. Mr. Darrell, can you hear me?
Yes, it was my internet connection.
Okay, so you're a little spotty for me, so you might want to drive somewhere where you have a better connection.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so that's not too bad right now, Miss Underwood.
Hi, Your Honor. Could I have a brief breakout with Mr. Doral?
Of course. Mr. Darrell, I'm gonna assign you to a breakout room with your attorney. Just go ahead and click on join, all right?
All right.
All right, I will close the breakout room. All right, this is in the matter of, here. Sir, is it Daryl or Darrell?
Darrell.
Okay, very good. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Brandon Edmund Darrell, file number 21-20327FH. We have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Darrell, and we have Mr. Moore appearing from the Michigan Department of Corrections. This is a date and time set for sentencing on a violation of probation. So, sir, have you had an opportunity to read and review the updated violation of probation report with Ms. Underwood?
Yes.
Okay. Are you satisfied with Ms. Underwood and the advice that she's given you?
Yes.
All right. Have you had an opportunity then to discuss the updated report with Ms. Underwood?
Yes.
Okay. Before the court passes sentence, Ms. Underwood, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, Mr. Durrell, I think now understands that probation has to be treated very seriously. I think Mr. Durrell is an excellent candidate for completing probation successfully. And I have every confidence that he will do so.
All right. Mr. Darrell, is there anything you'd like to say on your own behalf?
No.
Okay. All right. So it is a sentence of the court that you'll be reinstated to probation and given credit for 2 days already served. Now you do have the right to appeal this sentence. So Mr. Darrell, we'll make sure we get the correct address from Mr. Moore, or Mr. Moore, can you just touch base with Ms. Adams with that correct address? Let me see here, because he's in Adrian now.
Well, while we're on here on the record, that's a problem because he's not updating